Hey traders, Mike Sir here. Welcome to my live weekly trader psychology live stream series where I help you with the mental side of trading. All right, today is the last live stream for 2023, and man, it's 2023 has basically gone by so quickly. It seems like this year just flew by in literally a few months. So hope you guys had enjoyed my weekly live streams that I host every Sunday. Stay tuned. I will be sharing with you my plans for 2024 in terms of live streams. It's going to be a little bit of a different format, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. But stay tuned. Watch out for my videos in regards to what's going on in 2024. All right, in today's last 2023 live stream, I'm going to talk about trading regrets. I'm going to share some of my experiences in regards to regrets that I had in trading. And believe me, I have made hundreds of even, I don't know, like crazy amount of mistakes in my 20 something plus years in trading. And what I want to do in today's live stream is share with you some of those stories, share some of the things that I don't even know why I did, some of the mistakes I made, some of the regrets, and how you can learn and hopefully not make the same mistakes as me. So, all right, let's get started. All right, just a normal disclaimer, please consult your financial advisor before consulting or before making trading decisions. All right. So the number one thing that I have lots of regrets in terms of trading, it has to do with risk. And the number one thing that most of you probably have done in the past that you regret is not put a stop loss on every trade that you make. That's one of the most important thing that you should do, and probably the number one mistake that traders do is they don't know where they're going to exit if they incur a loss, right? And have seen so many scenarios, and including myself, which I will share with you, is you don't put a stop loss just because you're not prepared. You said, you know what, you can only think of the trade going in your favor. You don't know when it's going to go against you. You don't think about that. So you don't put a stop loss, and next thing you know, you're down, you know, you're losing, right? So then you say, oh, this is just a small loss. And then suddenly it becomes a bigger loss. Then you start panicking. You start freaking out. Because you say to yourself, oh, why didn't I exit? Or maybe perhaps you did put a stop loss, but you put a mental stop loss, meaning you actually didn't put the order into your brokerage platform. Now, you know, your mental stop loss is basically gone and it's blew past it. And now you are facing lots of or a huge loss, and you're hoping, you're praying, you hope that, you know, will come back up, but, you know, more times than not it doesn't. So it leads to you to exit at a loss where you just can't take it anymore. So perhaps you know, a small loss, maybe for example $100 suddenly turns into $1,000 loss, or even more, or even blowing out your account just because you did not put your stop loss. Okay, that is the number one regret that I have, and lots of the number one reason why a lot of traders lose money, because they do not plan, they do not put a stop loss, they do not exit when they put a mental stop loss, they don't exit and they incur huge losses. Now, I'll also talk a little bit about again, we'll talk about risk, okay? Because risk is the biggest trading regrets that I have, is you don't plan for, you know, how much loss you're going to take. Let's just say, yes, okay, related to putting a stop loss, but you don't plan for saying, okay, well, I'm probably going to exit around this price level because it's a support level, but you don't plan for it in terms of how much you're comfortable risking. You don't know, you're not planning for what's the maximum loss that you will incur and that you will exit. Or perhaps you don't put a stop loss. You put a hedge on, right? You buy a put, you buy a call to hedge your positions, but yet you don't calculate how much maximum loss that you're comfortable incurring. Next thing you know, because the trade goes against you, you basically exit with a much bigger loss than expected. Now, also related to risk wise, again, is as I said a little earlier, maybe perhaps I didn't put a stop loss and I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to do a quick scalp. Okay, I'm just going to go in and get out. Okay, and maybe just that day you're just not thinking well. You get in, and it goes against you immediately, and you just kind of have a brain freeze, and you didn't put stop loss, and then you kind of mentally lapse, and then the position goes against you very sharply. So then suddenly, oh, okay, you know what? I'm not going to do a scalp. I'm just going to do a intraday day trade. Okay, so I'm going to get out. Just give it some time to let it move, right? But lo and behold, it doesn't go in your favor again, and it keeps going against you. So suddenly you are facing a pretty decent loss in a day trade. So then you say, okay, you know what? I really like this company. I think I can probably hold it overnight. So you hold it, and it becomes a swing trade. And lo and behold, it keeps going against you. So then now you're facing massive losses. Then you say, you know what? I'm going to hold it long term. And then lo and behold, it keeps going lower and lower or going against you. So you can see in this scenario where it was supposed to be a scalp, right? You're supposed to get in, get out immediately on that same day or within that same, few minutes, turn into a long-term investment just because you did not put your stop loss. The other thing related to this is you got to, as I always said in my videos, is you got to cut your losers, right? You got to cut your losses when, let's just say you didn't put a stop loss, and you keep holding on to losers and it keeps going against you. You say, oh, it'll turn around, or, you start getting into a hope scenario, right? You hope that it will go back up in your favor. You hope that it will break even. Well, hope is not a trading strategy. And lo and behold, more times than not, the losers become even bigger losers, or in some sense, they go to zero, or your trade, you blow up your account just because you keep hoping, and then like I've had scenarios where I've held on to stocks for years just because I was not willing to cut that losses, or I cut that loser from my trade. And it created this whole dead weight mentality. It kind of didn't allow me to move on in my trading. I kept monitoring the stock even though it wasn't going in my favor. I just wasn't able to focus on looking for new opportunities just because I was so fixated on the trading loss. So one of my regrets is the losers. Yes, you didn't put your stop loss, just get rid of it and move on. And will allow you to be able to focus on looking for more trading opportunities. Let's see what else I kind of said here. Yeah, and so risk is the number one thing in terms of my regrets, and perhaps looking at your regrets. You got to always know what your risk is prior to any single trade that you make. And in the chat box, please share your stories, like maybe some trading regrets that you have. Please type them in the question box, and I will address them at the end of this live stream. All right, something related to risk, but it's also related to profit. And some of the regrets that I have is I talked about risk to reward ratio. Okay, is if you're looking to risk $1, the general scenario is that you look to only take profits, or you only look to get into that trade when you can make at least $2, right? 2 to 1, 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Now, again, some of the regrets that I have in the past is either due to impatience, either due to fear, either due to just irrational behavior. Even though I've set maybe perhaps 3-to-1 risk to reward or reward to risk ratios, like some big risk to reward ratios where I can see I'm buying at the bottom here, I'm looking it probably has a chance to go back up here. I immediately freak out and immediately I sell for just a quick small profit. And sometimes those profits are literally you're risking $1 to only make 10 cents. So it doesn't make sense, right? Every time that you risk $1, if the trade goes against you, only making 10 cents. So no matter, unless you have to have like a crazy winning percentage, 90% plus winning percentage, you will lose money over the long run just because you're taking profits way too early. And, perhaps guys can think about scenarios where you said to yourself, okay, you did all your plan, you did all your research, you did all your analysis, and you say, okay, I'm going to take profit once it gets to here, but either due to irrationality, again, due to suddenly, looking at the markets, or just again, irrational behavior, or your fear of giving up the profit, you sell your profits way too early. And again, I've had so many regrets in terms of holding on to the stock and basically selling way too early only to see sometimes the stock double or even triple in value. And I kick myself just because I see that there's a profit on the table, profit on my screen, take it, right? And then, try to find a new opportunity versus a scenario where you did all your due diligence, did all your research, and you just keep holding it. Like, that's one of the things that I always, teach my students is that if you get into a good trade, try to hang on to it as long as possible, because once you get in, you don't need to do anything anymore. Okay. You don't need to do anything. And if it keeps going in your favor, you're basically making money while doing nothing versus you getting in and out, in and out, in and out. Again, another regret that I'll talk about later, right? Try to maximize the profits. And again, there will be scenarios where you hold on to a stock, and it's also another regret that I will talk about. You hold on to it too long, right? So, but there's a balance, right? But if you look at your charts, you know how to analyze. You only hold it or you only sell it once it breaks, the trend up or in your favor, or breaks some major level that, that's your trigger, or perhaps there's some type of event that would trigger you to exit. So if those scenarios don't happen, you should not be exiting, right? And again, I have this regret where, again, I just sell, right? Because, either fearful or either just, lock in those profits versus me not doing anything and letting the trade work in my favor. Now I'll kind of talk a little bit about, okay, sometimes I have a regret where I'm holding on to the stock way too long. And when I say way too long, I'm talking about 1 to 2 years. Because nowadays markets move up and down, right? So scenarios where I hold on to a stock, I avoid, like I don't sell, and I think to myself as it's going up in my face, I say, great, this is great. Like I didn't sell. Luckily, I didn't sell. And then I ignore, like maybe sometimes I fall in love with the stock where I don't think it's going to go lower. I don't think it's only going to keep going higher, just because I think the potential of the company, where suddenly I ignore all the warning signs in terms of the technicals, ignore all the warning signs in terms of the market telling me, ignore all the signs of the technical indicators telling me that the trend is about to reverse, and just don't sell, right? So you have to kind of find a balance. Obviously, you want to maximize your profits, but look at your technicals, look at when the trend changes and get out. Okay, that's where your logic comes in versus you being emotionally in love with a stock or emotionally not wanting to take the profit because of fear that the profit could be even bigger. All right, the other thing, kind of alluded to this already, is just taking profits way too early. And what I mean by that is when you are perhaps getting to a point where you're kind of over trading in some sense, you're just looking for pennies, right? You're just looking for a few dollars here, 10, 20, 100 here. Right? So you're kind of grinding this out versus you looking back. And again, a regret is when I basically started off as a scalper, right? I'm just looking for quick in and out, in and out. Okay, that's great. Nothing wrong with that. I was quite profitable in that. But there are scenarios where you're in and out, in and out, in and out versus seeing, let's just say I'm buying, right? Buying in and selling, buying in, selling, buying in, selling is I overtrade. And I can tell you the biggest commissions that I've ever paid a broker is 6,000 US dollars in one day. Okay. I paid $6,000 in commissions to my broker just because I in and out, right? I made a few hundreds of trades. Yes, I made money, overall, but I overtraded, right? Like literally, sometimes when I look back, the stock was going in one direction, right, going up like this, versus me just getting in out, in out, in out, in out, in out, right? Versus me just buying, holding it, right, and then exiting, right? Now, obviously, you don't know when those scenarios happen, but it was a regret where the first like maybe 3 or 5 trades I was in and out, it was clearly going in one direction, but yet I was taking profits way too early, right? Over trading, paying a lot of commissions to a broker. So again, a regret that I have: over trading, spending way too much commissions, giving to my broker, not realizing the full potential in terms of the trading move that was literally going in my direction. All right. Okay. So some other regrets that are related to my irrational behavior. What I'm sure maybe you guys have experiences. I get bored, right? I'm sitting in front of the computer. I'm itching, ready to trade. Nothing's going on. Market's not really moving. I'm bored. I'm impatient. I just get in. And then suddenly I get out. I lose money just because of boredom. And I always say, right, and I say this to myself, right, nowadays, obviously, I don't have these types of issues. But before, where literally my whole life revolved around day trading, right, from the market open to the market close, that's all I would focus on. I try not to have any distractions. I try not to have any things that I scheduled for that. Even phone calls, I tell my friends, hey, don't call me between this time, or don't bother me between this time. So I'm so fixated on market. And sometimes there are days where there is no trading opportunity, and yet because of boredom, because nothing to do, I get into stupid trades, and then again results in a loss, right? So it's the worst type of trades to make, where because of stupidity, because of irrationality, you risk your hard-earned money that you made prior to maybe even the prior day, and you basically give it all up or even more just because of boredom. Okay. Another thing regards to necessary boredom is just impatience. There have been scenarios and regrets that I have where I open up my computer, I have all my screens ready, charts, and I immediately start trading. Okay, I immediately, without any plan, without any, maybe I do have my stop loss, but it's not. You don't even wait, right? And again, I had these scenarios early on in my career where I was so excited, open up my computer, charts, I see them moving, okay, get in, okay, and then it results in a loss, right? Or sometimes it results in a profit, and you're saying, okay, that's great. But how can that last, right? If you are kind of doing that, you're not waiting for those trades. You're just trying to catch anything that's moving, right? It's moving here. Okay, let me trade. Oh, let me trade this because it's moving, in the opposite direction, right? So again, kind of related to overtrading, but it's lack of patience, right? Wait for the trade. You plan everything in advance, right? And then you wait for the trade to happen. So another regrets that I have is not having a trading plan. So therefore, that's the reason why I don't have a stop loss. I don't know when to exit. I don't know how many positions I should be buying. I don't know what analysis I'm doing. So I have nothing in front of me I'm not well prepared at all in terms of trading. I just basically trade whatever I'm seeing. Oh, hey, the chart's moving. Okay, let me get in here. Oh, hey, this one's moving. Okay, like I have no preparation. I don't know what the heck am I trading. I'm just putting random symbols there, or just looking at charts on my watch list and just seeing if there's any opportunities, and I just basically get in or get on and then get off, right? So again, no preparation. Again, it's just a regret where because of your lack of planning, your lack of patience, you don't know what the heck you are doing. Okay, and I hold myself to that, saying that's regret because I was again just randomly trading, okay, just like winging it, okay, and that's sometimes it works, right? And even though I have lots of experience, I can probably wing it. But how can you wing consistent trade after consistent trade? I mean, I have the experience, I have the skills, and I'll be able to recognize, okay, think back, okay, this is what I made a trade before. So I have a kind of recollection, okay, these are trades. Oh, I recognize it. I can hop on and hop off. But let's just say that day, I'm just not thinking straight. I'm emotional, or I'm just, got on the wrong side of the bed. I don't put, accidentally, don't put my stop loss. And again, doesn't matter your skills, doesn't matter your experience because you did not follow your plan. All right. What else? Yeah, another thing. Regrets. Trading tired, and then probably heard one of my videos where I was trading hungover. Okay, I was drinking the night before. I had a little bit too much drinks the night before, and I was basically trading a little hungover. I had a position that was in profit that I held overnight, but I ended up turning that profit into a loss just because I pressed the wrong button. Okay, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys had the same experience, but that was a very expensive night out, just because of the losses I incurred. Again, just trading tired. If you're just not feeling well, I've had regrets where I just force myself to get up. Like maybe I'm not feeling well, maybe I'm sick, and I say, oh, I got to trade. I got to trade. Okay, I got to make money. So I force myself to wake up. I'm not really, like in. I maybe woke up late. The market's already open. I'm looking at my screens. I just like half asleep here, and then I press the wrong button, or choose the wrong trade, or just not fast enough to react. Again, you should not be doing that. You're not. The market's going to be open every single day. So if you don't make money today, that's fine. And that's why in in my trading, nowadays, is even if I have planned everything, I just basically set the order, right? Set my stop loss, and then I just go back to sleep, right? If it hits it, great. If it doesn't, no biggie, right? Because I have my stop loss, I have my take profit, right? No biggie. Or there are time periods where I just saying, yes, I prepared all that, but I'm not feeling well today. I'm not going to risk it. So what, right? I just sleep in. And then I look back and say, oh, I should have entered this trade because I did all the plan. So what? Hey, the market's going to be open tomorrow. Like there's going to be opportunities every single day. So who cares if you don't make money today? All right. Last few things. And again, see in the comments box, please, share your trading regrets. Love to, give you my feedback on them. But yeah, please type in your trading regrets in the chat box. All right, last few things. Again, due to greed wise, is I just play too big, right? I can share with you guys my biggest trading position that I ever had, and I was shaking, is $100 million. Okay, literally. I mean, this is leveraged. It's just stupidity, right? You just get too cocky. This is when I was a little younger, and things are going well. I mean, fortunately, the trade resulted in a profit, but it's just stupidity where if the trade went against me, not even a lot, just by a little bit, the account would have been blown. Okay, because I was using that crazy leverage. I was just, hey, not even what's the word? Not even well planned. Like, I mean, I knew what the trade was. I had confidence in it, but it's just stupidity to put yourself at that much risk, um, because the trade could have went against me and blew my account. Okay. And also, just in terms of some of the stupid trades, also too, is I went heavy onto a stock that was basically 5 minutes to the close, and they were going to report earnings, right? And I said, you know what, I go all in, okay. And sometimes it worked. The stock actually went in my favor, but I can tell you there have been a few times where this stupid strategy where you're basically going all in terms of before a company reports earnings and the trade goes against you. And I, again, not proud to say this, but I've lost a lot of money due to this stupid irrationality. So yes, you can say, well, analysts expect this, right? They expect to beat or expect to miss, certain things, right? Certain criteria. You look at history, all that stuff, but it only takes one um, black swan scenario to basically blow up your account or incur huge losses. Again, stupid type of either due to overconfidence, and again, these type of scenarios I did mainly when I was making money. But it's stupid to basically risk all my profits for trading decision where it's basically 50-50, right? You don't know whether what's going to happen or not. The other thing is, what else? Oh, yes. Revenge trading or trading angry type of scenarios where you get into a stock, you get stopped out. You get into a stock again, you get stopped out, right? So basically, the trend is going down, right? You buy in, you get out, get stopped out, but you believe that it will recover, right? So it's just basically revenge. You say, okay, it's not going to. At some point, it's going to recover, but it keeps going down, right? It's stupid. If you look at the trend, wait for the trend to reverse. But then my thinking was, okay, I might miss the bottom, so or might not be watching the market, so I'll just get in, right? And so your whole focus is trying to get time to reversal, where you should have been waiting, or where I should have been waiting for the reversal to happen. Then you get in. So again, just not believing, just not looking at the technicals, just not believing and trying to make that money back, right? Or maybe, and sometimes doubling down, or averaging down, on trades, those type of things. And scenarios where I get angry, I just not trading rationally and just try to again make my money back, and it only hurts you until literally you incur too big of a loss that you just give up, right? So, all right, going to basically answer any questions that you guys have for me. How we are for time wise. All right, I've been talking way too long. All right, guys, so I'm going to read some questions that you guys have. Richard, there was a time where I had 90% of my trading capital for a single trade. I took out a loan to trade. I regret that. Never will ever try that again. Yeah. So another scenario, I unfortunately have not had that scenario, is never borrow money, never trade what we call scared money. The money you cannot afford to lose, because here you would trade very, very different. Yeah. Again, thanks for sharing that, Richard. Is never trade scared money, because you will always be trading in a very cautious way, or you would not, or trading in a scenario where it's irrational because you don't want to take that loss, right? You don't want to take that money or lose that money that you had borrowed. My solution: I developed a trading plan which works with my strategy, not forgetting proper risk management. Yes. So well said, Richard. All right. Master Mo, great topic. Thanks. First regret taking a quick scalp and it turns into a swing trade and ends up losing big. I need to know what I should do to avoid this situation because I keep doing this. So again, same thing that I kind of talked about. had the same scenarios. I'm looking for a scalp in and out, either due to just not thinking straight, suddenly becomes a longer trade, suddenly a swing trade, and basically you get hoping. A scenario is quite simply is before you scalp, before you say to yourself, this is a scalp. I'm only letting it go against me this amount of points. If it does, I get out. Okay. Or on every scalp, some people don't like doing this, but on every scalp, then just put an automatic stop loss right away. Right away. Therefore, it doesn't matter what happens, you'll get stopped out. Now, obviously, I have been in scenarios where I play too big of a position, and I don't want to put a stop loss because all these market makers can see my stop losses and go stop hunting. So those scenarios do happen, but if you do put mental stops, make sure again you're super sharp in terms of scalping that particular day. If you are not sharp, if you did not have your morning coffee, if you're not readily mentally to scalp, do not scalp that day. Okay. I have to emphasize, okay. Also, another regret is that, when I was scalping, right, I was very active. I got to be mentally sharp. If I'm not mentally sharp, I don't scalp, right? I just try to intraday trade, right? So get in, try to kind of ride that trend throughout the day, right? Even if you're a day trader, or if you're a swing trader, you put your entry, put your stop loss, and then you put your take profit. That's it, right? You don't need to watch the screens. You don't need to watch the markets because you have all those scenarios all planned out. What's the other? The gentleman. Hello, Mike. Not listening to your voice that told you to pull out of a bad trade. Still feeling the emotions now. Yeah. No, you know in your gut feeling you should exit. You know this trade's not going to work, but you hope. You say, "Oh, please, please, I made a mistake, but please make sure I'll learn from the mistake, but please make sure this trade will go back to break even. Okay, I will never not put a stop loss, right? So you live and learn, right? So hopefully you don't make that same mistake. Master Mo says I stopped auto trading and now I am focusing on manual trading. I think about trading for I think robot trading is a scam. It works in short time, but in long run, it's a disaster. Well, I have algo trading. Don't think of it as, ways to eliminate your emotions, because you got to know when you are, what I call algo trading, or you're using EAs. Markets change, right? So you have to be the person that adjusts the strategy. If a certain algo is not working, you got to stop, right, and put in a new one, right, because the markets change. So I wouldn't say that it's a disaster, it's a scam. It's more in terms of you control. It's not an AI robot where it automatically trades. Even those they have some deficiencies, but it's you yourself that is controlling that robot, or controlling that algo. All right. Another gentleman says, I think which I am starting out in trading, trying to grab so much information, looking for answers from winning traders, but losing more money to keep up with people. Yeah. Another regret that I have. When I first started, first 3 to 5 years, I literally read every single book. Okay. I'm not joking, you guys. And this was so many years ago. There's no YouTube. I basically relied on going to seminars, relied on reading books, relied on talking to people. Oh, hey, this trader's making money. Okay, I should follow his strategy. Oh, hey, this trader's making this money. I'll follow him, right? So you try all these things and all this information, and then it becomes information overload, analysis paralysis. Oh, this trader said this trader said that. Oh, then you don't know what, and then all this information, you can't make a decision, and then therefore you lose money, right? So really, at the end of the day, as I said in my past videos, it's really about knowing what strategy, knowing what you are focusing on looking for, rather than others. Now, you can take ideas from others on how they made money, but it has to suit you, right? There are traders out there who made millions trading penny stocks. Maybe that's not your thing. There are people who traded crypto, made millions. Maybe that's not the thing. Maybe your thing is trading more solid, stable stuff, right? So nothing wrong with that. You just have to find a style that fits you. And again, regret that I have also is, again, just trying to capture, right? Trying to oh, hey, this guy made this money, also I should follow him, right? Disregard what I'm doing, right? All right. Last few questions or last few comments. Looking for easy solutions on getting quick profit, going off other ideas, looking to take accountable or looking to be accountable for my actions. 2024, building a better mindset and take my time. Great insights. Insights. All right, the last one is you skipped out of my question and about robot trading. I gave the background to the issue. I think I addressed that. Yeah, I think I addressed that to you, Master Mo. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish all of you a happy holiday, Merry Christmas. Hope you guys had a phenomenal 2023. I will be back in 2024 with a new format for you guys, so stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel and keep up to date in terms of what is going to happen in 2024. Got some new content, some new type of shows for you guys. So stay tuned for 2024, and I will talk to you